Oh my goodness. Did I click play? It says end live video, so I don't know. I must have accidentally clicked go live. So I'm assuming I'm live then. How are you doing? Let me just get my picture up here so I can know I'm with you. There I am. Still working on the hair. Uh, Welcome and have a seat and enjoy our day together. It's a lovely afternoon here. It's getting a little cloudy. It's a good day to be tucked in at home, just like I am. And are you living on the light side today? I hope so. I have my tea so we can have a lovely I know it says crabby till I get my coffee. Well, that's first thing in the morning. I had that. I'm on my tea. All righty. Well, today, National Calendar Day, it is really struck me National Plum Pudding Day. Now, one would have thought that would have been around Christmas because isn't that what you had at Christmas was plum pudding? That I don't know. I not going to the store, so we're not having plum pudding. Um, but hopefully someone will. But it's also National Nobody Eats Alone Day. And so thank goodness for video chat and stuff like that. I don't know who I'll be having dinner with, but maybe I'll call my friend in Texas or something, see if she wants to have dinner together. And I hope you remember that too. So if you're alone, find someone to have dinner with, even if it's virtual. And if it's not safe, then only virtual, okay? I just got our little local paper and I looked in it and it said that in our area for the first time we are not the area with the lowest number of cases of new cases of COVID. So that's not looking good. It's like the folks in our area have maybe taken it for granted a little bit, especially after some people have gotten vaccinated. They might be going like, oh, it's okay. I don't know if I can pause this or not. I'm going to have to start over. I'm sorry. Hello? Oh, I forgot that. I'm doing my video. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Bye. Okay. Not ending the video. And I don't know how to get back in. So I guess I can't hit cancel. I'm back. How is it? My phone did not ring all day. How is it that my phone rings when I decide to do the video? I don't know. It's either the cat or the phone. But so I'm back. So today, we're just talking about not letting anyone be alone, and then our area is increasing in cases of COVID. Please don't take it for granted. It's like my hair, which is starting to drive me bonkers. Um, it's just so stuck down with hairspray on the side right now, so it's not sticking out in the sides. But this is we are not getting a haircut until 2 weeks after my second shot. That'll be March 13th ish, and that's when I'm going to get my hair cut. Uh, yeah, yeah, because that's in like 2 weeks. I get my second shot, and then in my second vaccination, 2 weeks after that is when I will get my haircut. I'll probably still be masking up because 95% effective. Number one. Number two, I don't want to bring anything to anybody else should I be in contact with um, any germs. Sometimes you have to make little sacrifices for big changes. Yeah? You want to keep that in mind. Okay. Um, so when we were talking about lightening up to be on the light side, I was wondering, what are some of the things that aside from the usual ones the things that kind of keep us down, or uh, we just can't seem to get up to the light side. And I think a part of that is those things that we have, the things we have to do that keep bugging us. We haven't gotten it done yet, haven't gotten it done yet. And we know even if it's a good thing, even if it's a dream or something we want to do, if we let ourselves be overcome with unmet goals, maybe responsibilities. And I thought, it's really, you just gotta lighten up. Lighten up means so many things. Lighten up your mind. If you even put too much pressure on yourself to be too holy. Now, when I have time, my prayer time is longer than I have it lately, or during camping season, because I have the time. Now, I have a whole process of little prayer time things I go through. And lately, for a little while, I've had to just not do them all. I had to say, you know what? These are the most important parts of my prayer time. And that's what I'm going to do. And it's the same thing with, the exercise. To me, exercise is really important. And sometimes if I can't jazzercise and it's at all possible to go out and take a walk, then I go out and take a walk or do something. So everything, when we look at lightening up, everything adds up. So I had this thought as I looked at this. I can't send you this because I think it's copyrighted. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it probably is. But there are versions of it all over. It might be copyrighted, but it is not exclusive by any stretch of the imagination. This is another version of a life satisfaction wheel. I think I've shown you these before, but this one in particular is quite detailed, and it's got all these areas of life. Now, I would like you to imagine that is an actual wheel. And if you colored in from the center point of 0 to the border, which is 10, how satisfied you are with each component of your life, what would the wheel look like? And if it were a real wheel, would you have a nice, safe journey, or would it be going as it went over the low spots and the high spots? Good indicator of where you want to make adjustments so that you come, you know what they call that if you go to the shop because your car is dun, 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 they call that excuse me, getting your wheels aligned. So we have to get our wheels aligned, an alignment. So think about that. Go back to one of the life satisfaction wheels I've given you before, or look it up, Google it. Excuse me. Okay. So that's one way of lightening up. I want to share another one with you. And this is one of my favorite books. It is old. I can't tell you how old it is. Let me see if I can see how old it is. I got it at a retreat center once. It is available online, but you can't find it by looking it up just by the title. You have to look it up by the author, and the author is Marlene Shuey. And do you remember when I told you about reading this book? I've read it over and over. It's her journal. And I will tell you something. This is, when I give up books, this one's not going. This one I hang on to. And it's simply her journal. Well, she did a journal on what matters most. We've been talking a lot about that lately. And how she had to adjust her life for what matters most. And I want to, I want, yeah, I could read the whole thing to you. I could hardly stop, but I'm just going to read some little passages. Uh, she talks about her parents and how her house always had people in it, neighbors, uh, strangers. They were always handing out food. If they had leftover food, they'd bring it, or people would come and get it. And that although their life was very simple, it was very rich because of the way they lived, which was fully generous. They knew, she said, my father knew what mattered most. I do not believe this is happening. Excuse me. Maybe. This is my sister again. Oh my God. I can't. I'm sorry. Please hold. Hello? Hello? Well, I'm right here. Okay. It's the UPS man's got something for me. Anybody want to give me a call? Pick up the phone. Give me a call because I haven't had enough interruptions today. That's the way life is. And didn't we talk about that yesterday? Not wasting time with interruptions. Okay, let's get back to what matters most. Okay. So, um Marlene uh Marlene is an academic and so is her husband. And they teach classes in um journaling, and that's what she does. She teaches women's journaling classes. She's an author. She wrote this book. She wrote a book about a woman's journey journaling. I forgot what it's called right this second. Let me see. Nope, I can't tell you where it is right here. A one woman's journey or something, but it's the importance of journaling. Now, I journal, and no, it's Tish. Come on, you want to come up? You want to come up? All righty. Everybody on to get on the wagon. Anybody else want to interrupt me? Okay. Journaling is a great way to examine your life. Didn't we talk about that the other night? The other day, the unexamined life is not worth living. And so journaling is a way of examining our life. We can look back later and see where we were at certain points of our lives. I have got dozens. I've got 40, almost 40 years, 35 years worth of journals. And over time, they grow because I happen to write a little bit more than I used to. I used to forget for days, but I've been very regular about it since I put it into my prayer time. And when we began in March, when I did my how I spent my Corona confinement series, I suggested you guys journal. And I don't know who did or who didn't, but for those who did, do you understand you have created a time capsule of a worldwide experience that, Lord willing, they will never have to go through. So it's like once in 100 years, something like that happens, and we've gone through it, and we've gone through it in a very difficult time otherwise. Now that I think of it, they went through that plus the Great Depression and the Dust Bowl all together. So maybe, in the cyclic learning process of spirits, we don't get our lesson the first time around. We have another opportunity to learn. Except every time we don't get the lesson gets bigger to try to really get our attention. You know? So, anyway, let's go back to Marlene. She was talking about the need to simplify her life. And she had an opportunity to get this fantastic job, paying 3 times what she's getting paid, except it would take up more of her time. And she said, as she was pondering this, by the way, the tail is still switching here. She is drinking water, but I found out if I put her bowl up there, it's as good as drinking my water to her. So I don't know, maybe I've got to take her bowl off the floor if she wants to enjoy her water. Anyway, so she's thinking about what she will give up for this amazing new job. She said gone would be our leisurely breakfasts of coffee and blueberry corn muffins, discussing our dreams to insistently joyful strains of Bach's oboe music. Gone the luxurious days of writing, reading, planning workshops and courses. Gone too our late afternoon walks on the boardwalk with that endless horizon of ocean stretching out before us. We would need a second car. I'd have to acquire a professional wardrobe. We'd have to eat out or bring in prepared food more often. I would no longer be able to move so freely or frequently between New York and Vancouver, between my East Coast and West Coast lives. New York and Vancouver, excuse me, my teaching, writing, and workshops would fall by the wayside as I recast my life to meet the demands of a new career. Our entire life together would have to be reinvented. In essence, as Steve put it, accepting the job would mean a 180-degree change of direction with an abrupt end to everything I had lovingly tended for a half a dozen years and was finally seeing the fruits of. Even my dreams told me I didn't want the job. And yet, and yet, I also knew that accepting the position would provide a sense of professional identity I'd never known, a salary 3 times what I'd earned to date, and it would give me a pension, something I could no longer afford to shrug off as casually as I did a decade earlier. I took a full week to think and feel my way through this possibility, and when we were both sure, I turned it down. But I am grateful for the chance to have recognized that apart from my marginal income and lack of benefits, I already was doing work that held great meaning for me, work that seemed to flow out of my deepest and most authentic being. Why would I give up my work and our cherished, shared daily rhythm for a demanding position that in my heart of hearts I knew I didn't want, just so that in 5 or 10 years later I'd be able to quit and come back to what I'm doing now? What guarantee was there I'd even be around to cash in on this deferred gratification 5 years down the line? It was a tough choice. And according to my book that I wrote, Rise of the False Gods, those two false gods were trying to call her into this life of mammon, money, materialism. The job paid 3 times what she had, and also the carnality, the ego, the prestige. Do you see how she had to do battle? But what she chose was, what she really came to know was, sometimes less is more. So, do you have a choice like that going on? Did you make a choice like that at any time? And how did you feel about it when it was done? I have made those choices. And when I decided to go into ministry, where a lot of people think that, all ministers are rolling in money. Oh, no, no, no. Most churches are very small. And we do see those mega churches, the Joyce Meyers, the Olsteins, the Saddleback, all those. And then we've got the everyday church. If you haven't seen the movie because of Winn-Dixie, it's a great movie. And Winn-Dixie's actually winds up being a dog. But the it's about a little girl and her father is a minister. And I could so relate to what life was like for them because they knew what they were talking about when they wrote that script or made that movie, because they were holding their services in an old market, like a little deli, something like that, a little building like that with the little tiled floors and the folding chairs, and a congregation of maybe 20. The average church is between 25 and 50 in attendance. And a lot of them, now there's a lot of things called home churches. And the home church is anywhere between, 4 or 5 and 15 people. See, Diane says, I question my choice to live with my dad, and it's the right choice for me, for him. And is that the right choice for me and for him? It certainly isn't for money, but it's not without its financial benefits. And I often ponder that question. And you are right. And we do ponder it. And we have to make choices. And if you care to read another book, you can borrow mine because I know you and I know where I can find you. I have a great book called Healing Choices, Elegant Choices. And it's a marvelous book that discusses the same things you're going through. But just understand that if you're living with your father, and that is giving you a blessing and giving him a blessing and helping you to do the work you do as a jazzercise center facilitator, owner, teacher, and you certainly give many people joy with that. We do not live in the world that we lived in when I was in my 30s or 20s or 40s, or the world has changed completely. Back in the day, oh yes, I got to be one of them old people. Back in the day, we could easily have women being homemakers, not by force. You didn't think about different then, and I was not restricted of my choices because I had a pretty strong will, despite the fact it was not the best marriage or anything. But I treasure what I had. I treasured having a vegetable garden. I treasured the time to tuck my children in. I treasured that I was there for the first tooth and the first bruise, and watching, playing with kids, making cookies, and I could have done more, I suppose. So sometimes we have to really, that's what I think we're really coming to be about, is what matters most. And so Diane, if you are interested in the book, you can wait till I get my second vaccination, and 2 weeks after that, and maybe we'll be going back to class. Or you can just private message me and arrange to do a no contact pickup. I'd love to contact you. I'd love to give you a big hug, but I can't. I will not put you or me at risk now. We're getting so close. It's like that. They always have images of like someone in the desert crawling across the desert, and they like give up about 2 feet from the edge of water. Let's not give up. Let's just stay strong. And so I am kind of I'm thinking I'm inviting you on a journey with me to continue, maybe even shifting from a focus on the light side, or maybe that the simplicity and the light side are directly connected, right? So I'm gonna let you go for today. Sorry about the interruptions, but you know what they say? That's life. And I am very blessed to have it. I'm very blessed to have you with me. And I hope that you have a bright, beautiful, better than average day despite the clouds or whatever you're dealing with. Take care.